So CMT is a group of genetic peripheral nerve diseases that are classified as a single entity, but actually are probably hundreds of different conditions.
So people have problems with walking or using their muscles, and it is also quite varied. Some people have a very mild form, and some people are in a wheelchair and can really even have difficulty moving their arms. But it's problematic for everybody who has it, even if it's something where you don't hardly notice it when you see someone walking. When you then talk to somebody who has CMT, you realize that they're doing everything they can to make it look like they're walking completely normally.
If you can imagine getting out of bed and strapping 10-pound ankle weights around each ankle and walking around like that all day, up the steps, down the steps, to the grocery store, the fatigue, the pure exhaustion, your mind gets exhausted. And then also, let's not forget about the hands. Opening a baggie without a thumb, that's what CMT is.
I think historically, thankfully, this is changing, but patients have really struggled to find a home, knowing that they have a genetic nerve disease, but not knowing other people who understand what that is, or sometimes physicians who know what that is. And the CMTA comes as such a relief to them to find this community of other people who've had similar journeys and who have similar goals.
Another comment that we often hear from patients who come to these CMT clinics is that their doctor or caregiver said, well, you have Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, there's nothing I can do for you. And that is totally false. The vast majority of people with CMT are really interested in developing cures for this disease that affects them and potentially family members, and it's by partnering with the CMTA that they can help bring that to pass.
The CMTA is the Charcot-Marie-Tooth Association, and it's a group of fantastic individuals who help support people with CMT and help do all of the research to help find treatments for CMT. And there's a mixture of staff and volunteers, but mostly it's the CMT community that come together to help fund all of our work.
It's by the patients, for the patients, so by the community, for the community. So we pretty much 100% funded by the people who have CMT and their families.
We meet you where you are, whether you just recently got diagnosed, you've been with a diagnosis for a long time. We have support groups, we have education meetings, we have a growing digital presence, a growing youth movement. We have a lot of resources that can allow you to feel comfortable with your diagnosis, along with a community that's growing that wants to help you with your diagnosis.
When you first find out that you have CMT, like what happened to us, you feel really lost and alone. And you have to reach out because it's very overwhelming at first. And we have all kinds of ways we can help you cope with this because we've all been through it ourselves.
Talking to my patients, I can tell how important for them it is to find a place where they know that people understand what they're going through, and really getting vital information even about their care, things that they should be looking for. And on the other side, just being able to join something where they can change their future in a sense, so they can fundraise, they can participate in studies and the research that's ongoing to find the treatments for CMT. I think it's also something that's very important.
The CMTA is just a fantastic support network. So if you've been newly diagnosed, when I was newly diagnosed, I had so many questions. So it's like, well, what's CMT? Or what does that mean? What type of CMT do I have? And the CMTA has answers to all of those questions, and they have them in so many different ways. So you can pick up the phone and talk to someone. You can go to a branch meeting and meet somebody face to face. You can join a social media group. So it's easy to say, reach out to CMTA because there's something there for everybody, whatever your question or whatever your need.
Because it's a community, everybody is in it for the good of everyone else. And it doesn't matter what type you have, it doesn't matter what mutation you have. Everybody is trying to get to the end. And what the end looks like is hopefully a treatment and a cure one day.